It looks like we got someone back that came out of the hiding. He was in the cave for a while. He was known as Dumping Pal. That didn't last for long. Pumping Pal's back, baby. Market's going up. Got to talk all about it. Will we keep going up? That really is the question that we need to start asking ourselves. 405.65. We started the day down by 395. What a move. Let's talk about it with Joel Elconin.
All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
All right, let's bring on Joel and see what he sees in this market. Hit that mute button for me. Tell me what you see in the market. All I think I can see is just big old green candles, but you tell me about it, Joel. You ready, my friend? What are you seeing out there? Can you hear me, Joel?
You got me loud and clear here?
Yeah, I got you, man. No worries. You probably you probably weren't catching me. Yeah, you weren't catching me there. I could tell.
What is going on?
Oh, the lovely internet life. Joel, take down your camera.
I did.
Maybe that'll fix it. I think you hit your screen there. Gotta get my boy Joel back. Guys, everybody, let's whisper Joel 3 times. See if he comes back. Joel, Joel, Joel. He's not back just yet, team. We'll get him on in just a couple seconds. Looks like we're having a little bit of that Comcast life issue. But let's go ahead. I'll bring up my screen and show you guys the SPY move. We are ripping. Yes, we are ripping. And it looks like it all came on the Jerome Powell speech. Now, one thing I'll note, though, and I'll go to the 1 minute to kind of show this, is that we were ripping right off of that speech. I mean, I don't think he gave a sentence before the market already ripped. It ripped right there at 131. We were already starting to go up. We went to a high of 397 from a low of 394.06 and then started pushing. We didn't turn around. It kept going. It was definitely a crazy day to see that big rip. When we started the day actually going down, and this is where it gets a little interesting, right? In the early morning, we were getting, economic data and it was bringing us down. We got the JOLTS number that kind of brought us down even a little bit further. And then, boom, pumping Powell. And what were some of the comments that he stated? Well, I got some quotes here that I'll go ahead and go through. We'll run through the quotes. Joel will be right back in just a couple seconds. He's battling that internet. I don't know if he'd had to do a reset there, but I'll go through some of these quotes here that caught my attention. You guys in the chat, let me know what you guys think about the comments that were given today. If they're bullish or bearish, looks like Joel's coming right back. Like I said earlier, you got to say it. Maybe we say it 4 times. Joel, 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 Joel. He's back, baby. That's how it works. He's back with us.
Sorry about that, Mitch.
No worries. It looks like the internet isn't being the friendliest.
I hit the
with
stop
us today.
screen there for some reason, and that messed everything. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're still chopping a little bit, man. I might have to just go with my charts for you.
Can you hear me loud and clear? I can check 1, 2.
Joel, you no, I don't mean to be the bearer of bad news, Joel, but you're just as bad as probably you've ever been. I think Comcast is just not cutting it today. But definitely, Joel, if you want to do me a favor, if you want to just maybe take the camera down and I can do my charts, you can join in when you can. But definitely the chart. I can't even see your face right now, Joel. There you go. All right. It's a battle right now. There you go, Joel. Your camera's down now. You can probably hear you at least, and we'll worry about my charts.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. At least I got your audio. Yes.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
All right. I don't know what that.
You hear me now?
Okay, you got my audio. Not much to say here. Yeah.
We'll take a look. Let's go through the quotes here. I'm going
I
to
can
start
hear
talking
you.
about the
Can you
quotes.
hear me?
Yeah, I got you. I hope you can hear me. Let's go through this. Thus, it makes sense. These are quotes from Jerome Powell today. Thus, it makes sense to moderate the pace of our rate increases as we approach the level of restraint that will be sufficient to bring inflation down. The time of moderating the pace of rate increases may come as soon as the December meeting. And there's some other quotes that were coming through here. He also stated, despite some promising developments, we have a long way to go in restoring price stability. Given our progress in tightening policy, the timing of moderation is far less significant than the questions of how much further will we need to raise rates to control inflation and the length of the time it will be necessary to hold the policy at that restrictive level. It is likely that restoring price stability will require holding policy at a restrictive level for some time. History cautions us strongly against prematurely loosening policy. This is where it gets a little bit confusing in my eyes, because at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but did he give us anything new? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat. Put a 1 if you think that that he gave us something new and that this rally was predicate off of those words. And put a 2 if you feel that no, I mean, I didn't see anything new that he gave us, but we're still ripping rallying, right? So, or put a 3 if you feel that this is just a big old trick and that this rally is going to come crashing right back down. Like to hear what you guys like to think there. I see 1 in the chat there, change agent saying a 1. They've got a couple of 2s in there. Doesn't sound new, says Ruel. I haven't seen Ruel in a while, man. It's good to see you, man. EXS rocking the 2s there. We got some 3s even. Even some 3s out there. So some people are still thinking that maybe this is just a trick. Some people saying this is nothing new. But it doesn't matter. The market thought so, says Shannon. And I do agree so with that outlook there, Shannon. And you're right. Regardless if we thought it was Jerome Powell's speech, well, the market definitely ripped. Now, what do we need to think about? Well, can we continue this rally, right? Well, now look at this, guys. Look at the 200-day. 200-day is this purple line that you're seeing here. So the 200-day moving average now is actually below our price point. Remember, this is kind of very basic technical analysis, but a lot of people consider the 200-day representing bullish and bearish flow, right? And in this case, now that we're starting to get above the 200-day daily, it's going to start looking like we're in kind of a bullish trend, at least if you think about it only on a moving average basis, right? Another thing that could happen in the near future is you guys see the 50-day moving average. That's this yellow line down here. Will this yellow line start making its way closer to that purple line? Remember, we got the death cross way back here. Back in early March 11th was that day that we got the death cross where the 50 crossed the purple line on the downside. Now we can look for the 50 to cross the purple line on the upside outlook, and that could actually be more of a bullish outlook for the market for a bigger breakout. Another thing to look at is when will we be at oversold levels? You guys know I always like to pay attention to my RSI. I call out extremes. We're still not at extreme. We could still make another rally up like this move here and continue going. I think we have room to get towards this top trend line. If you see here from this trend line, from the action in January, if you point that down and run through, it's slightly above this August time. But if you run it through, it looks like it runs right into this window, right around 410s. So I think 410s are still in reach, and then we could come down. Of course, PCE tomorrow, we don't know where it's going to go. John B saying, I'm a little too bullish. Believe it or not, John, from what I got in the news, at least from what I got from Jerome Powell's speech, I'm not really necessarily concerned about, complete takedown because inflation would need to kind of spike. I think that's what's really going to take us down further through, let's say, those daily levels. But one thing to notice is we're actually holding an uptrend. We get up, we pull back to this trend line, we push off of it. We get up, we sideways, we get off this trend line, and we push off of it. This shows me that, yeah, I know that a lot of people are, still in the bear sense. And yes, I do in that sense that there's still a lot of headwinds, right? There's recession that could come. There's interest rates that could keep high for a little bit longer, and maybe we come down. But are we ever going to come down towards this 360, 350 again? I think it's going to take a lot to take us down there. That would be inflation probably spiking again, and I don't see that right now. So that's what I would pay attention to. SPY really giving a big move today. Let's go to our leadership. I know Joel would want me to go through that, so I'm going to go ahead and try to do my best for Joel right now. He's having a tough day. I think he just bounced out, but definitely you guys smash the like. I'll keep going through stocks. And if you guys have some stocks, definitely throw them up. Window dressing, then fund buying. Yeah, I could see that happening. Santa Claus rally incoming. I think it's coming a little bit early if it's the Santa Claus rally, from what everyone wanted to tell me, that, you can't call it early. Has to be kind of near the week. So we'll have to wait and see, Elon. But we'll have to look at that. Let's go towards our bigger stocks, right? Apple, right? Apple making a reversal after looking really bearish right before this. This was actually kind of coming towards the low on the days and then on the intraday, and then reverse right back up there to 147. Let's go to the daily. Can the daily get back towards 150? That's going to be the level I'll be looking for us to recover. If you're thinking Apple's coming back, let's say towards the 200-day, or it's just getting into bullish sense overall. Microsoft, 4% day up. Look how this is starting to actually hold now. It did not want to come back down towards those lows. And now it almost looks like an inverse head and shoulders here. Where would I see that? Well, left shoulder right here, right shoulder right here, head right over here. Now we look for the neckline to break. That's going to be a move going back towards 260, 265. We'll see if Microsoft can recover the long-term trend line. If it can recover the long-term trend line, I'll feel a lot better about Microsoft. Amazon is another one that's been struggling, right? Will it come back down? It's holding sideways here, now holding towards this 92 as support. So I'd kind of draw a line there towards 92, but looks like Amazon's trying to make its way back up towards the 100 price point. If the market wants to stay strong and the big boys want to stay strong, I think we can get there. Tesla reversing today. I was talking about it today that on live trading and stock market movers, and that's when we were getting this downtrend. I was thinking, well, if the market gets a little bit of a lift, of course, we got the semi-truck release tomorrow. The event should be tomorrow for Tesla to deliver a semi-truck to Pepsi. So we'll have to wait and see what happens at Tesla, but it started getting a move today. And if you look on the daily, there's a lot of support around this 180. We'll just see now, can we push back towards 200? That's where I think we could run into some resistance and get a little push up with some catalyst pushing us to the upside. We'll have to wait and see on Tesla. All right, today I'll definitely go through stocks in the chat. I see you guys bringing up some names. I'll go through those names, especially now that, we don't have Joel here. I'm missing my man. I wish he was back, but hey, he can take the day off. No stress. I know he's probably watching right now. And internet issues can be very frustrating. I know I've gone through them. I remember when I was moving, it was horrible. But we've gotten it fixed, and we'll get Joel's fixed just like I got mine fixed. All right, let's go to a couple of stocks. I see you, Brock. Don't worry. We'll get to it. Let's take a look at that. Let's go to CHE, right? Of course, we can take a look here. This is the Medicare company stock. Doesn't look bad. I really kind of like this daily chart. Let's go towards a weekly or a monthly to make it look a little cleaner here. And you guys can see here how we've been trying to push here. I'm going to draw a little trend line here to show you that kind of up price point where you're trying to get through. You're fighting to try to get towards that 530. If you look on the monthlies, it's going to look even cleaner, right? There you see how kind of this support has really held below that. That's kind of right around here. We even got a little bit of a cut down. Now let's see if we can really get that next push. What resistance should we be looking for? Let's look for this one to come into play. Get through the trend line coming towards 538. That's going to be a really good outlook. Let's go to the daily, into the intraday action. You can see the daily now multiple highs in this similar area. Let's look for us to get through that Monday high. 521.56, 521.65 right now on the offer. Let's see if we can close there. It's not looking too bad at all with this CHE Chem Corp. Doesn't look too bad on the 15 minutes, starting to push hourly. Let's go to that. Yeah, let's see if we take that next step on the hourly. It says just been stair stepping up. I love stocks like that. That just stair step up, keeping the trend. Now let's see if we can actually get the push through the 540. All right, I'll take some stocks from the chat. You guys keep going. Remember, guys, stop guessing where the market is going. You're better off trading what it gives you. You'll lose your mind trying to guess what's going to happen. 100% SRT8. I do agree with this statement here. And one of the things that I would say about that is always understand, right, that just because you have an outlook into what you consider a logical move doesn't mean that stocks move with logic. If stocks moved with logic every single time, then every single move would never have an overreaction or an underreaction. The truth is stocks are a little bit irrational, right? And sometimes they can make irrational moves. This could be an irrational move in the SPY overall. But does that mean that it's wrong? No, it's the price. Price doesn't lie. You're going to hear that statement being said. Why do they say that statement? Well, the truth is if you're trying to, think that this isn't a logical move and you're trying to put logics towards it, well, you'll be missing a lot of the price action that's going on. The price action was definitely towards the upside today. All right, let's keep going. I'll take a look at some different stocks out there. We'll keep rolling. There's a lot of stocks that you guys are rolling. So I'm going to try my best to just quickly run through some of these. Let's get it going here. Ruel, I got you, man. ChargePoint was one that Ryan traded today. We were looking to see if it was going to get through 12. Look where it's at now. Boom, back through that 12 spot. And this was actually looking good on the daily for a nice little push back. One of the things that I would state now is now you got that 1150 as your support. Now we need to get back towards the resistance. For a while now, I was looking for us to get back through 1450, and then make a run back towards 20. I don't think this is a bad one to keep in mind, especially going into next year. If we are going to get all the charging stations to really get built, will ChargePoint be one in the leader? Yes. EVgo is another way to watch this style trade. You're seeing EVgo get a little bit of a bounce in the last 2 days. Look for EVgo to kind of follow ChargePoint, but definitely some to keep in mind. And you can also watch Blink, right? Blink is another one that you guys can keep an eye out for. Will these start getting another uptrend? That's what I would be keeping an eye out. All right, ALB for Sydney. I got you. Let's keep it going. ALB is a specialty chemical company. Let's go towards the weekly. You can see how this is pulling back, right? Well, I kind of like this outlook here. As long as you don't break the 250 on any pullbacks, it's still looking good for it to come back. I would be looking for a push back towards that 300. Let's go to the daily outlook here. You can see how you pulled back. You got a little bit of a bounce. Now you're finding more of that kind of bottoming reversal style action off of the 265. Let's see if we can get back towards the 290. You might run into a little resistance there, but eventually I'd be looking for the volume to increase, getting through the 300, and that'd be a good outlook there. You can see here on the daily volume has been falling off here. When you get that next push through 300, we're going to look to see if we get that push here in volume. Let's say a nice little push towards, let's say, 2 million shares on the day. That's going to be looking good. You want about double or triple the volume. Right now on the day, you got less than 1 million. So think about it in that case, like 3 million shares traded with a push through 300 would be looking great on the stock like this. I'm going to go through some of these a little quicker now. Let's run through them. AMAT, let's see how quickly I can do it. Trend line trying to break here. You can see here, you got that nice little push. You got a couple of topping actions. You want to keep it going. You want to go ahead and push through this level and then hold any pullbacks to this area. I can see it even pulling back somewhere between the 108s. So I wouldn't want to see it come back all the way to like 105. Applied Materials definitely trying to take another step up. All right, QSR, one mentioned in the chat. I'll keep rolling through some of these. And of course, we can look at stocks that had reports today, like CrowdStrike, or if you wanted to see DoorDash, they got job cuts, or maybe your eyes were on Intuit, CrowdStrike. Let me know. We can touch some of these. All right, QSR, definitely restaurant stocks. Interesting to see this kind of continuing. And it's not an area that I play often, so I'd have to do a little bit more of some research to look into the PE. Let me just pull it up right quick to see what's in here. So it looks like your PE is at 15 on the forward, 21 on the overall. This doesn't look too bad here. Revenue growth about 15%. Definitely gross margins into 40%, showing me a good margins there. Looks to me like this is kind of like a value pullback by the dip moment here. Doesn't look too bad off of this kind of pricing from this spike. I'm pretty sure this was earnings. They got the nice little lift. It pulled back. It held actually above this price action. I'd be looking for some pullbacks into this to join the party. But right now, it's still looking strong on the day. And when you gain that volume increase towards the close, that's actually a good outlook there. It looks like a nice value type of stock to keep in mind, QSR. All right, keep them going here. Looks like Pam bringing up the DraftKings. Let's go. All right, DraftKings looks interesting here. If you actually take a look here on the daily, you notice how I start on the daily almost every time. I'm not looking at intraday action there for you guys because at the end of the day, I'll go to the intraday action, but I usually like to look at the daily. Does this make sense on a daily outlook? Because daily outlook is going to be where a lot of traders first look at. Now it makes sense to see this. Okay, now can we get it past this level right here of resistance into the 200-day moving average, 1562. Look to see if DraftKings can get back into the 16 handle. If it can do that, we can start pressing back towards different highs. 17 would be your first high. Then you can move your step up towards the next high. You can look towards 1850s, 1950s, and then eventually maybe 21. We'll see what happens there. DraftKings. MDT, that's a medical device company. I don't look at this one too often. Just bouncing off the bottom. Needs that bottom to hold, the low to hold. Toast. Who's got the toast? Who's got the toast out there? Toast is definitely toasted. Not really doing much. Look for it to really start getting back towards these highs. You can see it did 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts to break out here. I needed to get through that level. It keeps fighting through 22. I wouldn't want to take the trade here because unless I was going to look to sell towards that resistance, unless you really feel that it's going to break through that level next time. But it is trying to find some support towards this kind of down action here. You can see right around this first wick here in this earlier September time. Now we caught that multiple times as support. So 17, if 17 goes, I want to go, but let's see if it gets back there towards 20. All right, just trying to keep going through as many stocks as possible here. So smash the like button if you guys are enjoying me going through them. No coal in Mitch's stocking, said Jerome Powell. Yeah, I know, Jerome. Come on, Jerome. I wanted some coal. Well, BTU will bring me some coal at least. BTU continuing on the day today. Not a bad one. You guys, I love these coal stocks, man. CEIX was one that we talked about just a couple of days ago. And look at that. Oh, nice little move there in some coal stocks. Santa's coming to town. Oh, Santa Claus is coming to town. Tomorrow, December 1st. Get ready. Christmas is starting for me. Let's take a look. What else is out there? Microsoft is just incredible. I agree with you, Easy Mike. Just incredible as it's coming back there. What other ones are being mentioned in the chat? I'll catch some out there. Looking like Fleetwood Mac. Oh, no. Come on, Christine. EXS, you're trying to kill me over here, man. Really like hurting the vibes. But, hey, it's the green market today. Let's keep battling. All right, let's take a look. What else is making a move? Let's go towards some different stocks. I did see Intuit, right? INTU. Get a nice little lift today. Look at this stock. Stocks like this, the value software names have not really looked too bad. Look at this nice little lift here today. And it's continued into the push with the market. This was already getting a nice little lift, continuing the lift now. I'll keep watch on some of these value plays. I like the IBM. I know some people were telling me that this was already topping or had gone too far. Man, another little push there for IBM, right? It's impressive. It's truly impressive, these kind of value names and the way they're getting going. One that still hasn't gotten going that I think will get it going is Intel. So I'll give you guys this one. You guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Intel, but the way that it's been going in the last kind of months, that sideways action, now we're getting a little bit of a stronger candle being put in. Can we get that 30, pushing towards 31 and 32? I'll be looking for that move to continue. And this is kind of more of that value style play. Could go towards the hourly. Look for this kind of trend line to hold the pullback. Now that we got in this push, I look for some pullback area towards maybe 29.25 as we keep looking at Intel making a nice move up. All right, what are you guys taking a look at? Catching you guys in the chat. XOM, let's go towards that, and then we'll maybe take a look at some of the financials. Toast is definitely toasted. Yeah, I know. I mean, come on. They set themselves up for that one. Let's go to XOM. XOM reversing this morning's action. You can see the last. So a lot of times I look at what's called a 4-hour chart to just kind of look for some tight range. And you can see that we're in kind of this tight little range in the last couple of days in XOM. Every time we get towards the support around 109.60s, we reverse. Every time we get towards the resistance right around here, we can't get through the 112s. Seems like we're in a battle right now between the bulls and the bears, but at least overall on the daily, it's still hanging out at the top of the price range. If it can hang out at the top of the price range, we saw what happened to the SPY, right? Hung out at the top of the price range, and then got the breakout. Well, not looking too bad there. One stock or one area that definitely caught me by surprise coming back into the green is the banks. This morning, they were getting flushed. I'll go to a 3-minute so you can see more of that opening action. Right out the open, they were getting flushed. Then this thing comes all the way back up. To me, I don't know. To me, I think there was some big buyers here out the open that kind of shook this to the downside and then got this going, really, because it just seemed to me like the bid action was just recklessly towards the downside. It was just bid. They were getting hit hard. GS was getting hit hard. Bank of America getting hit hard. MS, Morgan Stanley. So many of these were getting hit. Now they're reversing, and they're actually in the green for the day. Doing, if anything, daily breakouts. Look at Morgan Stanley. Look at Goldman Sachs. Look at Bank of America come back around. This had a candle today, actually threw this down on the downside. Now coming back. Just seems like these stocks don't want to turn around. Seems to me like there's some big money still playing to the upside. If you guys remember, a while back, we've been talking about it. It seems to me like money managers are playing to the upside. And it seems to me they still got control of this market. I don't think this is retail action that's really driving this market. It's the institution. It's the trading. It's the big banks, I think, driving this market. The money managers. They got bullish really quickly into October. And I feel like they've been trying to make their money going into the end of the year to what? Well, to not look too bad, right? For investors out there and for the people that they work for. Well, clearly we're getting those rallies. The only question is, will this end of the year come with a sell-off? That's the only thing I'm a little bit concerned about. Definitely, I like the RSI. I like average true range. Those are probably the two main ones that I use, RSI and average true range. If I'm doing a little bit more day trading, more like sometimes I'll bring in the MACD, but really RSI, and RSI only on the daily. I don't use RSI on intraday actions. They're on my charts, but at the end of the day, I only really look at it on a daily outlook back. So I can look at the weekly or monthly, but I'm not going to look at, let's say, like an hourly for the RSI. Here's an interesting one being brought up in the chat, some copper stock. I'm going to have to wrap up here and get you guys out of here, but you know, it's just been that good of a day. I don't want to get out of here today. Let's go to SCCO, Southern Copper, as we're getting a nice little lift. I remember we were talking about this one when it was in this tight consolidation. I think even someone in our chat played it when it was in that tight consolidation. They took their profits early on the pop. I can't blame them. But this has continued going from that bottoming action, that SCCO. Now it's up there towards 62. Got through that kind of price point here and starting to push. We'll see if it can keep getting through. Another one, of course, to watch in this industry is FCX. And you guys can see that continued to push. So as long as this one, kind of the leader, can continue pushing, well, it's not looking too bad there. FCX with a nice little push above 39.33s. Look for 39s to keep holding on pullbacks. All right, I'm going to go ahead and change it up. You only use the MACD intraday, mainly on the intraday action. The thing about the MACD, right? And so I can go into a little bit more about it. But remember, what you're using on the MACD is you're using multiple moving averages, and you're looking to see them converge or diverge, right? Really doesn't mean that you can't use the MACD on the daily. I think you can. But my thing about the MACD is that it's more of a momentum indicator. It can work on the daily, but by the time the momentum goes around on the daily and comes down and crosses back, usually the stock is down big from that price point. So I don't mind using it in the intraday action, like on 15s or an hourly, to show me more tighter momentum and tighter momentum style trades. Another thing that you guys can be using there is the ADR, not the ATR, but the ADR to show you momentum trades also. There's plenty of indicators out there. You guys know I'm always studying up. I got a lot of books on indicators and can do more stuff on indicators. So if you guys want to check that out, always come to live trading. Ask me those kind of questions. I'll go ahead and give you the best answer I can give. All right, let's go. I'm going to wrap it up today. It's 4:02. Do me the favor, since I stayed a little bit extra, hit the like button for us today. It's been a good day. 407.67. Can you believe it, team? We are still going up, even in the after hours. Looks like I have here, let me go to the 1 minute so I can see the close. Closing price, I have 407.47. Not a bad day overall. One of the best days in the last weeks on the SPY. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Smash the like button. I'm sure everyone's going to be excited to see what Dennis Dick has to say about this market tomorrow. And of course, my man Joel Elconin. Don't miss us. Pre-market prep tomorrow, December 1st, end of the month. End of the month. Look at those monthly candles. Let's pay attention. Let's start seeing if those monthly candles start showing some trend reversals. We'll have to wait and see. It's been a fun day. Green light when this morning it started on a red light, right? Well, guess what? Red to green. Christmas is coming. Can't go wrong with it. Hit the thumbs up. I'll see you next time, team.